So look what we have here. This is the Sony CX405 Handycam camcorder.
Yeah, they're annoying. Can I just steal it? I'm not actually ready.
But just starting off, let's just take a quick look around the camera. Back here is where the battery goes, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that and show you the battery in a moment. And then over here, there's a little light indicator when the camera's on. This will light up, as you can see here, or when you're charging it, it will also light up. Speaking of charging, here's the way you charge it. The USB cable is built right into the camera, which is very convenient. So you can just kind of plug this into one of your adapters that you charge your smartphone with, and it will charge the camera. So that's one way you can do that. I'll show you another way in a minute when we look at the battery. And then there is a USB connection here, and right here is the switch for your lens cover. You can see here it's built in. This is your LCD. Just open that and it just kind of opens up and turns on. And I just opened the lens and there you go. Really simple. And then in here, this is where you put your card. And just to mention it to you, this is a micro SD card. So it's the little small ones. And if you ever get an error on the screen, let me show you something, because you might think your camera's effective when it's not. This camera doesn't stop you from loading it in improperly. So then it will give you an error saying reinsert the memory card, verify the position. It's talking about the fact that you loaded it in upside down. So it's got to be face up when it's an SD card. If it's a Magic Gate, a Sony Magic Gate card, then you can put it face down. So you can use either one of the cards in here. I think most people have micro SD nowadays, so that's how you're going to load it. Over here, there's a joystick on the screen. This allows you to navigate all the menus and things. That's where all your settings are. You can see here, this is how you change your shooting mode from picture to movie. But honestly, just going back to the top of the camera, because we didn't look around the whole camera yet. At the top, this is your zoom in and out. And then there's a photo button. So you don't even really need to switch to that mode to take photos. You can just hit this button when you're not recording and it will take photos.
I think they're going to make one of us sit with you to keep it balanced. So that we're not too heavy.
We could all sit in the seat. I can be with you.
On the bottom of the camera, you have a mount for a tripod plate. So you can screw that in there and then you can mount this on top of a tripod. So the battery goes here in the bottom. You can see, and these batteries are these little batteries right here. There are the Sony MPBX1 batteries, and they're very, very small, very lightweight. The battery life on it seems to be very good to me. When I'm just using them for family outings and things, I'm not really swapping batteries much. So I'm guessing it's over an hour or so. But the batteries are really small. They're really lightweight and inexpensive. So I would just suggest you might want to get a spare. So if you are recording longer things, you won't be without a battery. And yes, it can zoom in 60 times, and that's one of the biggest things or differences with a smartphone. Smartphones nowadays, they come with multiple lenses built in, so you can get a closer shot, but it's not really a zoom like a camcorder. But also, let's go back to the size of this thing, right? Because you might not be able to appreciate the size, but it fits in the palm of my hands. I'm not a big guy, and just so you can compare it, this is the Samsung Galaxy S21 phone. You see the size of that. Here's the camcorder. You can actually put this in your pocket if you wanted to. I did it on my vacation quite a few times. Obviously, it's going to make your pocket bulge out a little bit, but it still fits in there and is very light. Also, this camera has really good image stabilization built into it. So, you know, you can go handheld with it and still get a good shot even when you're moving around, you're panning, you're tilting, you're walking. You can still get usable shots. So when you play it back, you can go back in here, you can play back pictures that you've taken, you can play back video, you know, all that type of stuff. You can see it on the screen. And check it out here. One other thing too, talking about the playback, there's an HDMI out. So this is like a little tiny, I think this is a micro HDMI, micro or mini, I'm not sure which one. But it's like the tiniest HDMI connector you can find. So what you do is you get that on one end, and then you get the regular HDMI that goes into your TV on the other end. So it's a male-to-male adapter. And you could plug this in your TV and watch the playback on your TV. But there it is. I mean, all in all, this is a great little camcorder. If you're looking for something that's relatively inexpensive, it's not gonna break the bank. You wanna have, you know, dedicated camera so that you're not eating the battery life from your camera phone, and you wanna have more zoom, and you wanna just have something that is fun for family, for sports, for all types of stuff, for landscape, for hobbies. Maybe even YouTube. You might want to take a look at this.